If you've been trying to buy a home in the Portland metro area, you've probably already experienced this. You find a home you like, you go and see it, you're ready to write an offer, and then your agent tells you there are already multiple offers on this home. And at that point, most buyers are thinking, what do I actually need to do to win this house? Because at that stage, it's not just about liking a home anymore. It's about having a strategy that actually works. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through it in detail about how to structure a strong offer in a competitive market here in Oregon, and what actually makes sellers choose one offer over another. If we haven't met before, my name is Steven Tran. I'm a real estate broker and investor serving the Portland metro area and Southwest Washington, and I help a lot of buyers navigate this exact situation every single year. If you're thinking about buying a home here, please make sure to subscribe to my channel because I post weekly videos about how to navigate this market. And if this video is helpful, please go ahead and hit the like button because it helps reach more buyers trying to figure out the same exact issues. And if you're actively looking and you want help putting together a strategy just like this video is going to show you, feel free to reach out. My phone number is 971-285-2002, or you can email me at steven@diverserg.com. Before we get into the tactics, I want you to understand something really important. Winning an offer is not just about the price. A lot of buyers think that if I just offer the highest price, I'll win. But sellers are not picking just the highest number. They're asking themselves, is this deal actually going to close? Is this going to fall apart halfway through? And is this going to be easy? Here are the three things that sellers actually care about. Every seller is really evaluating three things: the price, the certainty, and the terms. And if you can make your offer stronger in any of those three areas, your chances of winning go up significantly. Let's start with something that comes up all the time in competitive markets. It's called the escalation clause. Instead of just picking a number and hoping it works out, an escalation clause allows you to stay competitive without immediately overpaying. What you're saying is, I'm willing to beat any competing offer by a certain amount up to a maximum price. So instead of guessing, you're positioning yourself to stay just ahead of other buyers. But here's the most important part. This only works if the rest of your offer is strong. If your price escalates higher than everyone else, but your terms are weak, you can still lose. Now let's talk about something that really changes the strength of your offer, which is bringing cash into the deal. That doesn't always mean you're going to be a full cash buyer. It can mean that you're just putting a little bit more money down to show that you're serious. You're showing that you have reserves, you have flexibility. And when a seller sees that, they think, this buyer is strong and that this deal is less likely to fall apart. And if you're able to be a cash buyer, now you're removing entire layers of risk for the seller. You have no financing contingencies, you have no lender delays, and you have no appraisal required. And this ties directly into your closing timeline, because a typical closing for a finance deal is about 30 days. But if you're bringing in cash or you're working with a strong lender, you may be able to close in 21 days, 18 days. I've seen deals close in as little as 10 days. And that matters because the longer a deal is open, the more time there is something to go wrong. So a faster close gives the seller a little bit more certainty. Even if you're not all cash, increasing your down payment definitely helps. And this is not because the seller cares about your loan structure directly, because what it signals is that you're financially strong. And when sellers see a higher down payment, they assume that there's going to be a lot less risk, more stability in the deal, and more flexibility. Okay, now let's talk about earnest money. This is your deposit. This is your good faith money, and that gets held in escrow. In Oregon, it's typically about 1 to 3% of the home price. But here's what a lot of buyers don't realize. Your earnest money is protected by a lot of your contingencies. So as long as you're within your inspection timeline, financing timelines, and contract terms, that money is generally protected, especially when you have a good agent who lets you know about your timeline. So when you increase your earnest money, what you're doing is you're signaling, I'm serious about this deal. And from a seller's perspective, that matters psychologically. Now let's also talk about one of the most powerful tools in a competitive market, and that's called appraisal gap coverage. I'm just gonna give you an example here. Okay, so here's the situation. You offer high, over asking to win the deal, but the bank still needs to approve the value. So if the appraisal comes in low, there's a gap between what you offered and what the bank is willing to lend. So when you include appraisal gap coverage, you're telling the seller, if that happens, I'm still moving forward. And that also removes one of the biggest risks in the transaction. Okay, let's talk about inspections because this is where a lot of deals either hold together or they can fall apart. By default, you typically get about 10 business days in Oregon, but in a competitive market, shortening that period can strengthen your offer. Why is that? Because the inspection period is one of the biggest opportunities for a deal to fall apart. The longer that window is, the more uncertainty that a seller has. So a strategy could be that you shorten it to 5 days, maybe 7 days. You're signaling to the seller, I'm moving quickly and I'm confident. Now, some buyers go even further and they waive the inspection entirely. And I'll be honest, that is extremely risky. A better approach for most buyers is saying, I'll only ask for major repairs. And that tells the seller, I'm not gonna nickel and dime you, and that starts to build trust in your offer. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is love letters. These are letters that buyers write to sellers explaining why they love the home. In Oregon, they're still allowed because if a seller chooses based on personal characteristics, that can create legal issues. So more and more sellers are actually moving away from them. Here are a few other things that matter more than people think. A clean contract really helps because simpler is honestly better. Also, offering flexibility. If a seller needs time after closing or has a specific move-out timeline and you can accommodate that, you can help win yourself the deal. And also, the team you work with really matters. Your lender, your agent. We're not just submitting offers, we're positioning your offer to give the seller confidence. And this is where I think a lot of buyers benefit from working with someone experienced in this market. Because my job isn't just to win you a house, it's to help you win the right house, while making sure that you understand all the risks that you're taking when you're purchasing a new home. And sometimes that means we push hard. We use escalation clauses, we structure strong terms, and we get aggressive when it makes sense. But other times, it means pulling back. Maybe waiving an inspection doesn't make sense to you, and maybe adding that appraisal gap coverage is too risky. So it's always a balance between winning the deal and protecting you as a buyer. You know, I'm really curious. What part of making an offer feels the most confusing to you? Is it the price? Is it inspections? Is it the negotiations? Please let me know in the comments and I'm happy to answer your questions. So, if you're thinking about buying a home in the Portland metro area, that's exactly what I help people with every single year. You can call or text me at 971-285-2002, or you can email me at steven@diverserg.com. Also, if you found this video helpful, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to share this with anyone who's looking to buy in this market. And if you want to understand the full home buying process in Oregon, I'm going to put that video right here on the screen, so please make sure to go watch that next. It will walk you through everything step by step. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.